I love to break it down to you guys, but it is just Southampton. You know, like that. It is just Southampton. And that is what I'm going to talk about later on in the video, because we have heard here some news that actually AMAD Diallo is getting a new deal. Now, guys, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it 100, because in this video, that actually he is a priority. Let's keep it, let's just keep it smoothly on, on the table, like that. He is a priority, because the thing about it is that he's probably our best player. He's probably our best player with Masraoui, Casemiro, Mainu, probably Dallo as well. And if I mention Masraoui, then that's cool, because I'm going to keep it into that kind of bracket. And probably we can add a little bit of De Ligt, because due to his performances, man, they have been quite cool, quite good so far. But yeah, AMAD, man, like, for real, he has been absolutely brilliant here for us, and especially when he has been player of the month last year from Manchester United. So, the thing about it is that, and what I kind of see in this here is that, like, whatever comes out of Man United, wherever he says, and and when wherever and anybody have saying it coming from the changing room, man, we all have to read the lines, and comment into the changing room, because like, because a lot of players, say different things, right? And we have to see the context here of what they're trying to say. And what we often always trying to keep on concentrating here is what the player says. But we need to also keep it 100 and try to look at it in a different way of saying, what are they not saying? Like that. And you might be saying, what is GVBrazy actually talking about? Okay, what's going on here around the club? Because we all know that right now the club here is still in a, can't believe it, for how many years, it's still in a transition period, right? And and the thing about it is that people may be saying, oh no, I'm enjoying my football, but actually what's going behind the scenes here may not be reflecting of what's outside, including how Ten Hag likes to gaslight. So what I am worried about here is that with Man United is their mentality. Especially when going down, and how we set up here every game. Because the thing about it is that Ten Hag, the way Ten Hag plays, right? He, especially especially like how we try to, especially trying to even to defend is also a problem. And anyway, the way that that Man United play, right? We saw it here in the, in the last not the Southampton game. We'll get into that, but the Liverpool game where everybody was just going further forward, and not giving support here to the midfield, especially when you're set up in a formation where it is a 3-1-6, when it's not like 3-2-5, because everybody needs partnership. Wherever that you are up front, wherever you're in midfield, or wherever you are centre back partnership. And that also goes partnership here with the left back and right backs that are booming forward, as well as the goalkeeper. Now the reason why I said about how we defend is the example like Dallo. Now, the way Ten Hag sets up, he wants his defenders here to, as soon as the opposition gets the ball, he wants here the left back and the right back, and I'm pretty much sure that it's most of the players. He wants here the left back and the right back to meet the opposition players who has the ball. Now the thing about it is that is actually a problem, because like I said in the previous video, I play as a right winger, right? That's one of my positions, either behind the striker as a centre forward, or as an attacking midfielder, or as a right winger, right? And that's actually that's a winger's dream. That's my dream, man, to come and meet me, because I know there is space behind, like that. So what I will do is that fair enough, I can either beat you, and then the space behind you is for me to run and beat that space and able you to either cut inside or cross, or cut inside and score a goal, or use my right foot to cross, or I can link play like the way AMAD does it. Link play with Xerxes, and then what I mean, like, because that way that will trick you, the player, to to concentrate on the ball while I overlap, and then get into the space. In other words, when I link play with the player that I'm linking to, he can pass into that space where I'm running in. The reason why I'm saying that is because if Ten Hag is doing that to me, that's a dream. And I'm like, to Ten Hag, I'm like, what? Because like, for real, yeah, wingers, should have the ability, to beat their man. Like that. To beat their man, or either to link play. Like the way AMAD, AMAD can beat a player and can link, right? So it was good. But the thing about it is that you don't want the opposition to find that weakness. Them ones there. So I was just thinking to myself, that why can't you set up here like similar to like Man City or Aston Villa? So when we move as a team, we don't lose discipline. Like, for example, like if the defender to the midfield and to the midfield to attack here is the space is kind of small, when you move on the pitch, you don't lose that space, that gap between you and the midfield and in the midfield to the attack. Make sure that the space is condensed. That's how they move. So, and the thing about it is that is how you don't lose discipline. But we all know that Bruno Fernandes, what he does, like that. And not even that, like Ten Hag allows him to do that. And the thing about it is that the way that Ten Hag is setting up, he's setting us up to what? To fail. Basically, just because we don't have the fundamentals. So this is what I'm saying about not Mainu, but yeah, Mainu is one of our best players. But AMAD, right? Yeah, of course we all know that Mainu right now, man. He's not in the best position because that's not where he plays. In front of the defense. He needs to play further forward. We shouldn't rely on a 19-year-old. So he's running himself to the ground. Fam. Okay, but the reason why I'm saying this is because of what AMAD, right? AMAD is our best. He's probably one of our best players, or our best player. And it's hard to believe because a lot of men are gonna be like, Rashford is our best player. Have you seen Rashford's goal scoring record over the past 4 or 5 seasons? Where most seasons he's scoring like 4 or 5 goals, 8 goals. And then not even that, don't forget that before Ineos came along, I think it was the Glazers, right? Forgive me, you guys can correct me. When they gave him a contract after that purple patch season. Now, obviously, a lot of people may say that Rashford, they contributes. Okay, no problem. But as I said before, that I'm not that kind of person who loves football, who is into expected goals, GA, less of that. I'm not into that kind of stats because the stats are so misleading, especially when you're trying to compare good players to players that are not really good technically and are not great, and it looks like as if they started off their players as runners, they became footballers. We can tell that players like AMAD, like Xerxes, like Mainu, those players look like as if they become footballers first. You know, like that. And this is why that we need to keep our best players, like AMAD. Because the thing about it is that Ten Hag is on the line. And this is why I was saying before that Ten Hag is on the line and we just got rid of Sancho. Our best player technically. You know, who will do sick hit with AMAD and Xerxes, like I said in the previous videos. And the thing about it is that we have to keep AMAD now. Because the thing about it is that if any of these two go, especially Manu, Man is finished. We need players that can pass the ball properly, who can hold play, who can control the game. And obviously, if we do not have that technical ability to able Man to take it from A to B to C to D, what I'm trying to say that on the football pitch, where from the first phase, the second phase, to the third phase, if we don't have that kind of technical ability, we are finished. Because what's going to happen is that the ball is end up going to come back here to Manu, to the centre backs, and to Onana. So that if we don't have these players, who's going to do the link play? Anyway, guys, let's move on, right? Because today, guys, Man United against Barnsley is at 8 o'clock in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Now, right now, Barnsley, they are in the seventh football. They are seventh in the football league, not the championships, but the one below that. And the thing about it is that they have won 3 times. They have actually drawn once and lost twice. So they're doing okay for now. They're doing okay. And in the first round of the Carabao Cup, they managed to beat Wigan. You know, because Wigan scored a penalty and then they pulled one back. And then they went the penalty shootout, and then they obviously won that, and then they went through to the second round. And then obviously in the second round, Barnsley won their game to 1-0. So they managed just to hang on to able to move to the third round, and that against us, Manchester United. Now Man United, they are at home. They are at home, and don't forget the second round was against Sheffield United. If I haven't said that, for Barnsley, but Barnsley, man, they're doing bits here for what they're capable of, despite the fact that they are seventh here in the football league, and and then they are. It's sick stuff here for for clubs here like them, who are that's the thing, man. Like, it's the base minimum level, man, to give your all. To give your all. But don't forget, like I said in the previous video, it's not just about giving your all, but it's about giving your all mixed up here with what you can bring to the team. And that is what Barnsley did against Sheffield United, in the second round, and also in the first round against Wigan, in the Carabao Cup. But look, let me keep it 100, right? Man United, man, should be able, man, to beat Barnsley. No problem. Just bringing in Anthony, for example, because Anthony hasn't even had game time yet, and also other players who hasn't had game time. But Ten Hag, man, should also bring in experienced players as well. To try to make sure that the game here doesn't go out of sight, because it can get booky, if Barnsley do some damage. And now I say about damage, right? I don't trust Ten Hag. Fam. It's peak. It's absolutely peak. And the thing about it is that the way Ten Hag sets up, right, he gives the opposition control. And this is what I mean about us getting runners with technical ability, not just runners. Because it's like the thing about it is that Ten Hag has a certain way that he plays, style of play, way he sets up the formation, right? But the way he sets up doesn't fit the Premier League, doesn't fit English football. And then if he doesn't realise that, so right now, yeah, I'm keeping on a deep low, yeah, with how things are going, especially like when we beat Southampton, and we'll get to that, in a minute, because we should be able, yeah, to beat Barnsley, but let's just see how things will go, because I'm not confident with Ten Hag. I am not, fam. I'm really not, like that. I'm really not. And the thing about it is that, like, how can you give Ten Hag, right, his flowers, right, if he's not like, because the thing about it is that the way he's setting up, let me tell you something for free, right? The way he sets up, right, it is like as if yeah, he's setting up for individual players to shine, not to work as a team, but to work as a just for an individual brilliance from a player. No wonder, man, that he wants Rashford, man, to. He said before, I think this was last season, that I'm going to play Rashford into form. But then, yeah, he didn't even give that year to at the time our best technical player, Sancho, who just came back and was willing to fight for his place. But since Chelsea came, he's like, you know what? I might as well just go. Now, guys, look. Let me give you my thoughts here on the Southampton game and the Man United game, because obviously there's a lot of things to cover. Hopefully I won't take too long on this, because Man United, the way they played, it was okayish. And obviously Man United, man, they were trying to make things happen, but then there were no end product. Like, Bruno Fernandes, right? There was one moment here where he was through on goal when AMAD was on the right and did that sick through pass, right? And then we were all here saying, take it first time with your left foot. Take it first time with your left foot when you was getting into the box. But then two players swarmed in, and then he thought that actually it was that it was deflected, but actually it was for a goal kick. Same thing here, like Southampton. Same thing, just no end product. Like when Walter Peters here was driving into the box, he was dangerous, by the way. And then no one wasn't there to capitalize, man. He's when he threw past it, not threw past, but when he did it like a low cross into the box, and then again, like especially like the way that we setting up, like I mentioned about against what we're gonna go against Barnsley, right? Mainly. Now, I can't believe it that one of our best players is a 19-year-old, and this 19-year-old who is a generational talent, and you're running him to the ground, shouldn't even be playing every minute. He should be on the bench. Ease him in. And then in that game, Manu find himself in a lone six where Eriksen was further forward. Now, when I saw this, I was like, here we go again. And then there were times where they were switching forward, because I saw Eriksen. Eriksen, by the way, man, he was cooking in that game. He was alright, Eriksen, because he was popping balls here and there. He was really doing some really good stuff in that game, especially reading the game, especially like when Manu was going a little bit further forward. I saw Eriksen going back into where Manu was. So he was trying to make sure that the way Ten Hag sets up, it is setting up. The way that he is, the way he's trying to implement it on the pitch, Eriksen is trying to fulfill it. The one's there, but what I didn't like here was that Man United here allow Southampton to have a lot with the ball. That's what I didn't like. And can you imagine if this happened against Barnsley? That's the thing right now. That's it. When Ten Hag is setting up his team like that, he just don't know what he's gonna get. You just don't know what you're gonna get. And the thing about it is that that young right winger at Southampton, family, he was giving Dalot, he was giving him a cooking session, fam. You know, like that. My family, like, he was cooking Dalot. And then there was another moment around the 29th minute, right? 29th, 30th minute, yeah, where Dalot caught him, and then it was a penalty. Luckily, fam, Onana saved the penalty. You know, and not once, but it was a double save. And now, and the thing about it is that now, because during that game, I said to myself, now, since that they are a promoted side, you know, Southampton, since that happened, right, you would expect their confidence, man, to plummet. You would expect that, but now it did. It did eventually. During that time, yeah, like Xerxes, right? The connection here with Rashford and Xerxes in the 34th minute in the game was good. You know, exactly like what I said, exactly what Xerxes needs. Xerxes plays from feet. This is what I was saying. Because that is how that you bring him to play. And the thing about it is that he's not an aerial threat. He's not an aerial threat. You know, he's a guy who brings it to feet. And in the way that Xerxes was popping it here and there, we all, look, even me, I'll say that Xerxes is a false 9. 10, false 9. He's not a number 9. He's like Bobby Firmino, which I rate highly as well, because he was the connection here with Mane and Salah. But you know, for us, we don't have a Mane and Salah in our team. We have AMAD, you know, who is sick, and also we have either Garnacho or Rashford. So now it's about bringing you the best here out of Xerxes. And if he been playing, and if Xerxes is going to play against Barnsley, that's what you need to do. You got to bring the best out of your players, not the best out of your system, because the system is meant to bring the best out of your players, like that. So anyway, Man again, you were playing a 4-2-4, you know, out of position. But in the offensive, it was 3-1-6. I was even like, when I was watching the game, I was like, I can see that. Because the first half was dreadful, fam. I'm not going to lie. You know, and then we let them cook. And they were cooking, fam. But then, luckily, the first goal, Delay, you know, scored. Great header, good goal, good work goal here from the corner. And also the second goal here was from Rashford. Again, from a corner. Great. I mean, look, let's not take away here from Rashford's curl goal. Really good. He cut inside, curled it, went to the bottom corner. Really, really good. Because the thing about it is that again, it was from a corner. Dalot passed to him. Diallo, sorry about that, not Dalot. Diallo, Amad passed to him. Rashford did it. Set goal, you know, like that. Yeah, Rashford took his goal really, really well. But the thing about it is that it looked like as if that was the only thing that Rashford did in that game. You know, like that. And you know, and the thing about it is that all these goals are the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum. Nobody should, like I said about in the beginning, it is just Southampton, right? Nobody should get gassed or buzzing or excited by, you know, about us getting those 2 goals. Yes, we got those 2 goals, but now we shouldn't dwell on that, especially winning against Southampton. And that was my mindset, you know, at half time, you know, like that. But then again, yeah, I really felt sorry for Southampton because they were cooking Man United, and but at the same time we allowed them to play like that, and that's Ten Hag style. And you can't, especially when English football, especially in the Premier League, when it's so fast, you literally haven't got time to leave all that space, especially putting a lone 6 there. Anyway, football's cruel as well, man, and you know, it's fine margins. Like, you know, like if you don't take your chance, and that's exactly what happened. And Southampton, they couldn't able, man, to take their chance, especially that penalty. you know. And the thing about it is that I'm exactly like this with Man United, because we need warriors on the pitch to keep on going even though you're down. And then, but yet Man United, man, they're no different to Southampton when it comes to mentality. So yeah, and guys, and as well, like at time in the second half, Manu, I can see that Manu was a bit frustrated, and like I said, man, like Manu, he's not a 6. He's a advanced 8 or 10. He's meant to be that, but if you put him into a 6, it's like putting a striker in goal. Anyway, guys, but AMAD did great, man. They're trying to make things happen on the right, beating players, cutting inside, and sometimes even trying to take a shot at one point, you know, like that. But obviously that was blocked. And as guys, I remember around the 58th minute, he dribbled one player and trying to get a shot off, you know, with his left foot. But then I was like, AMAD, use your right foot. There was a time where he could have shot with his right foot, and I'm like, shoot, because he was in the box. Shoot with your right foot. But obviously we know what happened, man, you know, because as I said before, like me, because like I said, I don't have to mention it many times, man, because, you know, I play football as well, you know, and you got to give whoever you are beating, whoever you're facing against, either the left backer of the opposition, or the left midfield of the opposition, right? I always trying to make sure that I can beat my man, that I'm able, yeah. So then when I beat my man, I can give him something to think about. Like, for example, I don't just always cut inside with my left, but I can also use my right foot to cross it in, or even to shoot with my right foot. And then that will make the left back or the left winger be like, crap, family, man, this player can use both feet, you know, like that. Anyway, guys, let's move on, right? Because you know, like AMAD again, they're sick, you know, beating 2 players around the 59th minute, you know, when he was passing around, you know, at the right wing. As I said, the Ericsson, man, he was balling in that game. He was really, really good in that game. You know, a part of me was like, I wish Sancho was there. I just wish Sancho was there, because AMAD, Xerxes, Ericsson, you know, Mascherano, they're really technical players, as well as Manu as well. So, but fam, you know, it really meant we would have seen we would have seen cooking going on in front of us. AMAD and Xerxes and Sancho, technical players who, you know, with football IQ as well, would have been sick, you know. And you know, and this is what I meant about football: linking play, making things happen, you know, like that. But then look how football's gone into. Football is more than just GA and XG, man. And this is what I mean about being the contributor. And that, and Sancho, family, look what he did. Look what he did for Chelsea, being man of the match. I wonder how Ten Hag must feel. You let a quality player like him go, and we are all saying, don't let him go, because I always say, keep our best players. Anyways, guys, and Ugarte came on, right? Now, he was good, he was okay, but it was criminal, yeah, when Manu was still the lone 6. And I'm thinking that Ugarte was switching positions with Manu as well, like the way Ericsson was with Manu as well. And then Maguire got a yellow, and I was like, fam, straight off, coming off from the bench, you know. And what was dumb in that game was that Mascherano was taken off. And then we knew full well that Martinez was injured. And Ten Hag need to pay the consequences of having Evans at left back. But anyway, the game went according to I don't know, man, but as Ten Hag sent us to fail, but yet we win. Family. Oh my days, really. Oh, but anyway, guys, look, the player, Stefan Stevens, wow, family, man, the way that I don't know what he was doing, man. He really hurt Garnacho, right, when he came on, and it was a knee height, so it was right, man, to send him off. And then when I saw this, I was like, my night. Now you can put your Southampton to the sword. Now you can. They're 10 men. They're 1 man down. Come on now. I was like, this is Southampton. No offense to Southampton fans, players, staff, people there. Like that. I know that they were all trying to win our games. Like that. And I was and also I was hoping that goals from AMAD and Xerxes, just to boost their confidence, in putting the icing on the cake, because AMAD and Xerxes, they were balling in that game, and I was also thinking about Casemiro. I was like, Ten Hag couldn't even put him in the team, and Casemiro, and other than that, like, Casemiro got on just because De Ligt was injured, and then the way that we play, it is like, we need Xerxes, we need AMAD, because they can play the ball properly, technical enough, to do so. And the thing about it is that you can see that Kobe Manu, in this game, as I said before, he was running himself to the ground. He was a bit frustrated. You can tell he was poor in that game. He was poor. Because he's playing every minute of every game, every match. 19-year-old. Fam. 19-year-old. I saw that in this camera. Because the thing about it is that the team was not structurally put into place for Manu to flourish. He needs technical players around him. If everyone's all runners, the ball is just going to come back. Manu is one of those techie players, and that tells you everything you need to know. You're when the only technical player there's Mosrorik, Eriksson, AMAD, Xerxes. And like I said, man, like, we need players that are in sync, synergy, know exactly where everybody will be. But then, if one moment I have the ball, I'm beating my player. One moment, let's say player Xerxes is in the box, and then another moment I beat a player and he's not there. And also, Mr. Spamming, Bruno Fernandes, he was not good enough in that game. Or let's say in the past, how many seasons he's been poor, and that's the thing. Bruno can play horribly, but then getting assists, and then people say, "Oh no, he played sick." That's not football, fam. Now again, we can all make mistakes, but then the thing about it is that if we're not contributing overall and not making things happen, then that's a problem. But then Bruno Fernandes offers nothing. He just runs around, does nothing, spamming the ball any way he wants, instead of he is the captain. And sad to say, he's not a really great captain. Like I said about Bruno Fernandes, and then players saying something, and it's the opposite of in the changing room. Man United, man, is meant to go here for the Premier League, the Champions League. But then if you say, oh yeah, we're only here for top 4. But then Bruno Fernandes, you said before that you're here to win titles. But then you're seeing that top 4. The standards. So low, fam. So low. So low. But yeah, in that game we struggled. With 10 men in Southampton. And then there was a good play in the 90th minute, with AMAD and Manu in the corner, in the pockets, and then AMAD was going for it, finally using his right foot. But then I was hoping that Xerxes, man, were able, man, to at least score that goal. But then obviously it was blocked here by the defender. I was expecting him here to put it in, but Xerxes was so unlucky. And overall, man, but Xerxes, man, was balling, as I said before, but it's too bad because, as soon as Højlund comes back and he's fit, Højlund is probably going to be, on the team sheet, and like, Højlund and Xerxes, they're two different players, like that, but that's the thing about Bruno Fernandes, he getting assists, so his rating is gonna go up, So the thing about that, football, man, it's not like football ratings, like that. It's all by goals and assists. But the thing about it is that, as I said, it's all about impact. I'm always going about goals and assists, and also the impact. But what about the contribution? Because there are a lot of people who are unsung heroes, and Sancho's one of them. Manu is one of them. Casemiro is one of them. Because Casemiro, the third goal, fam, what a ball from Casemiro, and that was a team goal, for Garnacho in the end, like that. But Garnacho took his goal well, so yeah. And the thing about it is that I'm worried about the misprofiling of players, when it comes to Manu, and as I said before, that Manu, he's not a 6 to begin with. But then again, when Ten Hag, but yet when Ten Hag is misprofiling players like him, it's a problem. So what happened is that you end up staggering the growth of Manu when Manu should be playing further forward. And then the last thing you want is that he ends up being like Rashford, where Rashford, his growth has been stagnated. Exactly like when Martial was here, his growth was stagnated. Don't forget that when Martial was here and when Jose Mourinho was here, Sancho was brought in, right, and he played on the left wing. When at the time, I think Martial was player of the month, consecutive months, I believe, and then Jose Mourinho put him there on the left, Sanchez, and put Martial on the bench, and then that stagnated his growth. Exactly the same thing was happening with Manu right now. See, so that's the thing. Casemiro's problem is not pass, because Casemiro can pass, but the thing about it is that he hasn't got runners with him that are technical. That's the problem, and this parallels exactly the same thing here to the Liverpool game. When you get caught out so many times as a lone six, Manu, exactly the same thing, caught out as a lone six. You see, so that's why we need players that can complement each other, especially complementing Casemiro, and that's the way that you're able, man, to get the flaws won't show, and then you can take advantage of those, of those compliments, of those what players can do on the pitch. But guys, Southampton, right? We shouldn't get gassed over it as per usual, like that. Don't forget, man, that this wasn't Man City. That was one man down. This was Southampton. And let's keep it a buck, because in this performance and what I was thinking, nobody should be thinking that Man United is back. They're not back, fam. If we win the league, if we win the Champions League, then we're back. But right now, winning the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, we're not back. That should be secondary thing. Champions League and the Premier League should be on your. That should be the first thing that you should think of. We need to get you to the summit. Like that. So, because the thing about it is that we cannot say to ourselves that we have improved in terms of the style of play, patterns, triangles. Nah, there was nothing like that in this game against Southampton. And I'm thinking about what will happen against Barnsley as well. So Ten Hag cannot say that, we play sick. No, we played here from dead ball situation. It wasn't from open play. It wasn't. Luckily, we wasn't terrorized 5-0 like the way it was here for we didn't. It wasn't 5-0 for us. No. So the thing about it is that we don't keep pressure to the team. We don't keep pressure to the team we're facing and pressure to us, because we need mentality monsters. Now, although that Dalot, man, he was fantastic in the past few games, you just have to be like, well, that's how Ten Hag has set us up. Now, you can see that AMAD side and Mojrare's side did absolutely sick on that side as well. Then Dalot and Rashford on the left. But but since AMAD and Mojrare have been playing together, since Mojrare has come, that right side has been sick, and we need both sides to be sick, both sides to be dangerous. And Man United should take advantage of AMAD and Mojrare on that right hand side, because structurally we need to change. I'm not going to lie. We need to get the best out of our players. We cannot go to war without a plan, you know, like that. So yeah, because if not, we're just gonna be cooking. I mean, not that we'll be cooking, but opposition teams will just be cooking us every time, and that's clearly a problem if we're always getting cooked every time. Because now sometimes, right, if you're playing badly, sometimes you got to play bad, sometimes one-off to win games, but not all the time. But then again, man, results matter, you know, like that. But the thing about it that the performance doesn't reflect you're on the scoreline, and that's the bad thing. Football is entertainment, fam, you know, like that. If it doesn't entertain us, then what is the point of us going to the games to watch? And even us watching it, yeah, on our respective situations. Because right now, watching Man United, man, is like bleaching our eyes when we're watching it. You know, like that. The Ten Hag style of play and the patterns and the structure, the way he plays, the way that he's structuring Man United, it is booky, fam. You know them ones there. Let's keep it a buck with how Ten Hag is setting up, because don't forget, 2 seasons, nothing. 3 games into the 3rd season, actually 4 games now. 4 games. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see. Anyway, guys, run and smash the likes, man, in this video, man. You know, like that. It's been a lit video, lit show, because this should be easy, but Ten Hag, in the way he sets up, I'm not sure, you know, like that. I'm not sure. Yes, guys, like I said before, run those likes up, guys. And guys, don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and comment in the comment section below of your thoughts on what I've just said, and also your thoughts of what you think of the Barnsley game. Anyway, guys, this is GVBrazy here. Take care of yourself. Bless. Peace. See you in the next video. Say no more.